I'm 36 years old, and in the world of the internet, I'm practically dead. Now, I don't necessarily feel that old, but recently I have come to the realization that I am no longer young. The way I think about my life, my habits, and my day is vastly different now to when I was younger. A lot has changed. Things that I once considered important are now not, and things I didn't consider important are. But one thing that's always been consistent in my aging process is my love for video games. As far back as I can remember, my main hobby in life has always been video games. But recently, I've been feeling like I'm losing my spark for this media. There was a time I'd get chores done so that I'd be able to jump into whatever world I wanted to and decompress. But now, I look at this hobby as the chore. I find that I spend more time wishlisting games than actually playing games. My hobby has become collecting rather than playing. So why am I not getting excited to actually play them? I still enjoy the buzz and the excitement around them, just not the physical act of playing them. It's a question that's been floating about in my head for a while, and something I've been thinking about a lot. I wanted to see if I could answer this question so that I can reignite that fading spark that I once had. Have I changed, or has the gaming world changed? Is this a bad change? Are games getting worse? There's a lot of factors to consider with this subject. One of those is, as far back as I can remember, I've been playing games. In the 90s with the point-and-click adventure games on PC, to Sonic and Micro Machines on the Sega Mega Drive, to now having multiple consoles and a PC to enjoy. In my teens, time was never a thought that entered my mind. It was so easy for me to wake up at 10 AM, sit in front of the PC until 10 PM, and just play. I had no real responsibility. I had chores and school and so on, but in my free time, it was mine to do as I wished. Now, I don't really have that luxury. Being a dad of one and a husband, a full-time job, staying active, making sure the house is clean, making food and so on, time seems to slip away faster these days. Once I have time to myself, you're looking about an hour, and that, really, if I'm lucky. Now, I'm not saying things were better back in my days. Even though I had a wealth of free time in my younger days, I did only have a handful of games to play a year. I relied on the generosity of my parents to buy me a game or two for my birthday and Christmas. And that one game would consume my time for many months. Now, of course, I have the opposite problem. I'm able to buy what I want, when I want, but have not much time to play them. It's that classic problem. Steam sales, PlayStation sales, Nintendo don't have sales. It's a no-brainer to purchase a game with a 50, 75, 90% discount. Of course, I'm not unhappy with this. I love my life, and I wouldn't change it for anything. I just have to understand that things have changed. Time was never really a factor when it came to picking games. I never took a second to think about how long is this game gonna take. But these days, I found myself getting hyped for a game and instantly go into how long to beat. And if it's more than 40 hours, I really have to ask myself, is this worth it? Say I only had 1 hour of gaming a day. That one game would take me over a month to finish. And again, that's if everything goes exactly to plan. There's been days where the day itself has been an absolute shit to me. And at 9 PM, I just want to unwind with some easy, consumable media. You scramble to find time to actually sit down and play. You queue up the game you've been waiting to play forever, and then, not really feeling it. It happens far too often than I'd like to admit. And having a time limit on my head, I end up scrolling, trying to find that perfect game to play, and end up playing nothing. However, an hour or two a day is not that bad. That's enough to play something, just not enough time to play everything. I guess, to help with that issue, I may need to reevaluate my... With all my hobbies, I've never really been one to narrow my interests. I genuinely do listen to all genres of music. Metal, jazz, rap, math rock. I watch films from all corners of the world and in any language. And it's the same with video games. I do prefer some genres of games to others, but I basically play them all. If it has an interesting mechanic and a decent gameplay loop, well, I'm in. I've always taken on more than I can handle. Even to this day, I've added extra pressure on myself to learn Japanese before I'm 40, to lose weight before the summer, to start a YouTube channel to talk about games, as well as keeping up with my guitar practice and keeping up with my actual gaming. I'm a hobbyist. Trying to balance all these things is impossible. And when I do one, I feel guilty about not doing the others. Adding to that, I also suffer greatly from video game FOMO. If I see a brand new game getting rave reviews and critical praise, my eyes start switching. I haven't even finished the other brand new critically praised game, and there's another brand new critically praised game out there. A gaming sin of mine. Far too often, I will drop a game mid-playthrough to pick up the shiny new one, only to never return to the previous game. I'm so sorry, Fanboy 16. And with having an increasing backlog of games, the ability to actually pick what I want to play has become harder. There's a very well documented and researched condition called analysis paralysis, which is a situation where overthinking and excessive analysis prevents someone from making a decision leading to inaction. How many of us have spent time scrolling through a game library only to play something familiar or nothing at all, and jumping on TikTok and brain rotting? I've entered a new phase in my video game playing where I just replay my favourite games instead of playing new ones. I'm not even playing to completion either, just jumping in and leaving. It's a familiar and comforting and is stress-free, which is what my brain is craving. As somebody who has always chased games, chased new mechanics, chased interesting visuals, I'm somebody who likes to jump in and try so many different things at so many different times. I follow so many video game content creators, all of whom have the time to play, research and create content around games, that I almost get ashamed I'm not giving my hobby the same amount of attention. There are of course smaller and shorter games that I could be focusing on. I don't need to be chasing the AAA games, I don't need to be chasing what's best at that time. Which leads me to the last topic on my mind, which is... In my younger days, magazines were the go-to place for gaming news and reviews. To where I'd read up about what was interesting and what wasn't, what new game was on the horizon, and what were, at the time, the best games of all time. I use YouTube for most, if not all, of my gaming news and so on. I've played a good handful of games this year, all of which have been recommended by people I follow or watch on YouTube. But when I actually look at the games that have been released this year, I haven't played any of them. If I have a quick look at the best games of 2025 this year, there's only a handful I really want to play. Of course, looking further into the new releases this year, there's a lot of games I'm excited for. Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2, Snake Eater Remake, Okami. As I write this, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is out, and I'm really excited to play it. I'll just add it to the pile of games. Oh, God. I mean, yeah, of course, there are games out there aimed for me. Not everything is aimed toward the larger market, but at the same time, companies want you to stay with the games for a long period of time, which does make sense. If you're going to spend 70 quid on a game, you want your money's worth. But when publishers sell the idea of long, multiple choice commitment type games, it does put me off. It is getting expensive to buy new games all the time, so when you do purchase one game, or even the free-to-play games, and that's where you sink your time into, it makes sense that you play one game for a long period of time. And this is only talking about the AAA market. The indie scene is bouncing with new, exciting, innovative games, all of which that I can't wait to sink my teeth into. As I mentioned, I spend a lot of time in the gaming news world. My social media following is a lot of YouTubers and so on, all of whom talk about upcoming games. What's good, what's bad. This has turned into my new magazine. I don't rely heavily on the adverts and so on for the new gaming releases. As I pace around the house thinking about all the information I've put on here, the time, the marketing, the interest, I guess I need to make some sort of... So why am I not getting excited to actually play these games? My actual interest in video games is still there, I still follow all the information, I still get excited at new releases, but why am I not actually getting excited to play them? I guess there's one question I really need to ask myself. Does any of this really matter? My brain says yes, but my logical brain says no, it doesn't. I know deep down, it doesn't matter if I don't play the newest game each month. It doesn't matter that I spend 6 months playing one game, and it doesn't matter if I stop playing a game that I liked. The problem here is me. I guess, in a really strange way, it was my last thread holding on to my youth. It's me needing to accept the fact that I am not who I was 10, 20 years ago, and that's fine. As I said in the intro, the way I think about my life, my habits, and my day is vastly different now to when I was younger. So this clearly needs to apply to my hobbies. I have of course already done a couple of things to help me. I honestly don't care anymore about needing to play a game on normal or hard. If it gets to the point where I spend too much time on one section, the difficulty will be dropped. I'm lucky as well, I've never been a completionist or a trophy hunter. Once credits roll, I'm out. And that's a pretty good time-saving characteristic of mine. I've really narrowed my field of vision when it comes to purchasing games. There's a lot more factors that I need to think about, and not just, ooh, there's a new shiny one. How different and or innovative is it? How is the story? Is there a story? How good is it? Is it Final Fantasy? And to add to that, I do need to stop caring about the FOMO and just learn to love and enjoy what I'm playing at the time. To some, all this is obvious. To me, it wasn't. My love for this hobby hasn't gone, it's just changed. There will be times I'll play an 80+ hour JRPG. There'll be times where I'll play 3 10-hour-long games in 1 month. There'll be times I'll play nothing at all in a month. There'll be a time when no new games excite me, but I'll always have a backlog of games to enjoy instead. I can still enjoy this hobby of mine like I've always enjoyed it. I just need to put less pressure on myself. I need to stop being harsh on myself for not doing everything and start enjoying doing something. The years I've spent playing games have given me amazing memories, and that's never going to go away. In a couple of years' time, I'll be able to sit down with my kids and play games with them. I'll get to show them what games meant the most to me, and they'll get to show me what games mean the most to them. And I can't wait for that day to come.